cryptids. We're back on the ship, and we're off to Dathomir. Now,
Woohoo!
I'm not gonna do anything in Dathomir. I'm making a mad dash for the dual-bladed lightsaber.
So we will be doing something, but we're not doing all of the quests and things on Dathomir. Just
Right.
getting the lightsaber.
Just getting the lightsaber.
You're right, BD1 does look adorable in his
I'm surprised Cordova went.
new color scheme that we got
Must
there.
have had good reason.
He popped up for a hot second and vanished.
Once we arrive, red sunlight cannot be good for your skin.
This place
He
used to be
looks
home
There he
to a
is.
powerful
Absolutely
cabal
adorable.
of force wielders known as the Night Sisters.
Like we said on the Instagram, he's the best druid ever.
No. These witches served only themselves. Their powers focused on deception, illusion, manipulation.
Sounds like someone I used to know.
During the Clone Wars, the Night Sisters made a deal with a Sith Lord who betrayed their trust. In the end, they were nearly wiped out in a massacre. Dathomir is a deadly place. We should be careful.
I think
Don't
they
have to
were
tell me
wiped out.
twice.
Pretty much.
Think Marin's still the
Coming up on our
survivor.
creepy destination.
Uh-huh.
Have some seat, kid.
I also wonder, like, is the term witches how to put this? If whatever the equivalent of common tongue is in the Star Wars universe, is that just what we're going with? Would be the best approximation, or is witches like the semi-derogatory thing that it often carries nowadays?
I don't know. Don't they call themselves
I don't know.
that at some point?
Like, don't they? Because they call themselves
Yeah.
Night Sisters,
Be
right?
careful here. This is a deadly,
I don't-
I don't know.
place.
This, yeah.
I need a second. Do you know anything about the Night Sisters of Dathomir?
I knew a little. Many Jedi weren't even aware of their existence, but being Cordova's apprentice came with some unique insight. He always thought they were interesting, as he did with most ancient cultures.
And what did you think?
I never came here. I never wanted to. As I recall, that was about the time the two of us began going our separate ways. The darkness always has an effect, one way or another. Later, Cal. Please.
Okay, fine. I'll be back with the new lightsaber.
Just trying to be a good anthropologist, Sarah.
Good thing we weren't standing there. What is that thing? Wouldn't count on him being friendly.
Up we go. Up we go.
And then we get to the tunnel.
Starting off strong.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now. He wants to scan something. Where did he go? No. Gross. Okay. I think this is where we want to be. Yes. I'm so bad at reading these maps. It's fine.
They're very interestingly rendered maps. Like, they're more of like a 3D scan of something and less of a...
I'm just also
Yep.
very bad at reading them. Burial pods.
Ah,
Ah. Wait, I forgot what the buttons were for fighting in this game.
you've been playing other stuff, so that's kind of understandable.
Well done.
Say on the Star Wars wiki stuff, it consistently calls them Night Sisters, but it also says, also known as like the witches or daughters of Dathomir. But I wonder if Night Sister is their own term for themselves.
I don't know. I don't know that we ever hear their actual term for themselves. Because it's always from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah. Now, what's the Emic versus Edic perspectives that we learn about in cultural anthro classes?
Yeah.
I always forget which one is which. Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure EM is inside because me,
That's fair.
but I don't know that for sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, Emic is the insider's account. I went and found my notes on that, and then Edic is the outsider's account of things.
Night sister, practicing her craft.
Indeed. What?
Indeed.
No, I didn't want to
No,
fall down.
no.
I wanted to be up there.
The point is, based on how we said or have said in past episodes, you know, this game is all about archaeology in a sense. It's also a lot about anthropology, studying a quote living culture, though there's not much left of the Night Sisters on Dathomir as we find them now. But I guess we never get to hear like an Emic perspective, really, at least for an entire
We do
cultural thing.
from Marin a bit later. But
Yeah.
Need a stem.
I asked for a stim. BD1 didn't give me one.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. As you can see, the mad dash for the lightsaber is going well.
Oh yes. Absolutely fantastic.
To be fair, I got distracted by things.
It happens. Kind of like my brain today. I should be working on the lit review, but I had like 50 emails I had to answer about events in various departments next week, and I got distracted by all of that, and I'm like, okay, guess I'm doing that today instead.
Yeah.
The glamorous life of an academic, you know?
I took a nap.
Naps are good.
That's all I did.
Hey, productivity comes in many forms.
Where am I? Nice.
I got a flu shot, so that's something else.
That's productive.
Mm-hmm.
BD1 is still the best.
Ah! Cal! See, Cal fall.
Even if he forgot to give me the stim in time.
Was it these particular vines that we made such fun of last time we played this?
I don't think so. I think it was another.
Yeah. There were some more Eldritch Horror vines that we had some fun nicknames for, but I don't think we've encountered them yet.
Mm-mm. How about we don't? I still got that right, yeah. Oh no, the pottery. Ow.
Oh dear. I know it's because you said other things are happening where we're where you're recording this from, but ominous effigy, that's amazing. My frame rate as I'm viewing this is incredibly laggy right now, so if I'm weirdly quiet, it's because I'm waiting for the frame rate to catch up.
That's weird.
It's
It's
fine,
still
it happens.
supposedly recording. It looks like it's recording fine. It's just, it's Zoom probably.
Yeah. Ah, the joys of recording things while not being in a spatially
Except for
continuous area. Oop. Petroglyphs.
This place seems abandoned, but
Ah, but Cal sites don't
You
abandon
trespass.
themselves.
Jedi.
you must be a Night Sister. I had heard you were all dead.
Not all. Dothamir is forbidden to you. Leave at once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that, but perhaps we could help each other. You see, Easy. I'm not your enemy.
Your actions say otherwise.
Wait, hold on. I'm not here to...
Well,
Someone over there?
Well,
ow.
ow,
Hit him!
Well,
oh no.
I guess I should just run from them. I don't know how I did it so easily last time. Because I definitely did it faster in our playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should just run. Run like a mad woman. Or a madman, I guess.
A madman and a mad droid.
I love how, like, Cal's just like, but do you want to be friends? We could be friends.
We could be friends.
How does friends sound?
I feel like, as we've mentioned, Cal's he's a pretty good archaeologist in quite a few senses, and he's also a pretty good anthropologist. Wants to understand more about other peoples and cultures and places instead of just blowing through them sometimes.
He's also just a good person.
He is.
Now, where's that shortcut? It's right in front of me. Okay.
Run!
Don't mind me. He didn't. Okay.
Yay!
Nope.
Nope, nope, nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
It doesn't exactly help that you have an aversion to spiders in real life, so...
It's true.
It's the outsider!
Nope, 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 nope.
We'll end you!
Nope, 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 nope.
Alright. I'm gonna sit down and have a think about it. Nope, 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 nope.
We're Knight
nope,
Brothers.
Nope, nope, nope. Ow. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. How about we don't?
I hear
Nope,
Indeed. Like we
nope,
said,
nope.
speed running!
Just want a lightsaber, thanks. Nope.
who's there!
Ow. Ow.
Kill the intruder!
Ow.
Win, brothers!
Nope.
Another falls to our might.
Jeez.
No, indeed.
There we go. Alright. Alright, folks. That took an embarrassingly long time. So, we cut it out. But
Indeed.
we have made it to the lightsaber. And Cal's glitchy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But the double-bladed lightsaber is worth it. So.
Oh yes, very worth it. It's funny because from a like historical martial arts perspective, a lot of people are like double-bladed so-and-sos aren't worth it, whether it be this double-bladed lightsaber or like Thanos's double-bladed sword and Avengers stuff or whatever. Like they're actually pretty good because it lets you much like Cal's doing here, you just sort of strike back with alternate edges. Can actually be very effective.
It's also, at least in the game, presented as like easier against hordes.
I mean, it makes sense because like you basically have twice the
Twice the blocking power.
Someone was drawn to something here. Energy from the ruins?
Wonder who that could be. Alright, back to the ship.
Indeed.
And off to Zepho. I don't think I can get that one until I have double. Maybe? Maybe? Oh! Oh. Haha. Aww.
Night Sister survived. Something about her is familiar.
Aww.
An adversary!
No, I'm leaving. Don't mind me. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I think there's several points in this game where you end up just running from a bunch of spiders on Deathmere. It's fine.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Back to safety.
Finally.
Cal
Glad
is
you
still
made it back in
glitchy.
one piece.
There
Yeah,
were
he
some close
doesn't
calls out there.
Please tell me nothing followed you home, kid.
I hope
seem
not.
like he's
Some
functioning
spiders
quite right. Oh, yes. Lots of spiders.
Should I talk to... Did I find anything?
Find seats for Grease.
I will be right back. Hang on a second.
Seren has
I ran
abandoned
into a
us.
Night Sister.
What happened? Are you okay?
I'm fine, although she made it clear we're not welcome. She wasn't alone.
The Night Brother?
I think so.
Oh no. There's more of them?
I don't know much, but Cordova told me the Night Brother served the witches of Dathomir. You're lucky to be alive, Cal.
I'm back.
We're leaving.
It's an option. You can always come back here later if you're not ready, Cal.
Oh, I'm not ready. We're leaving. Definitely getting out of here.
Let's take a look.
On our way to Zepho. You know, you never told me how you became a Jedi.
I was discovered by a Seeker when I was very young. They took me to the temple to train.
Oh, yeah. Seeker.
Kidnapped her.
They're one of a kind, I'll tell you that much.
You have no idea what a Seeker is, do you?
Not a clue. They seek things?
Yes. They're Jedi sent to find and retrieve young Force sensors.
They
Like the
mean
ones on the
kidnap.
I was a Seeker.
Oh, whoa. You know what this means.
I didn't discover Cal. That's
Sarah
what
was a
it meant.
kidnapper.
No, it means I'm a seeker too.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Should you add more context or just leave it at that?
Nope. I mean, we talked about how I'm not the biggest fan of Jedi in the last one. And I think it's gonna, like, there's several points in this game where I'll probably talk about it more.
Indeed.
Time to land. Get up here.
But basically, what they're describing right there is how the Jedi go and, like, take kids from their families
Storm brewing down
when they're,
there.
like,
This
toddlers.
might not be the best time to
And,
land.
You know,
Something strange. Those winds are interfering with our comms.
which sounds a
Cordova
lot like
mentioned something about
kidnapping
peace
to
in
me.
the eye of the storm. Well, I could just make out a
Yeah.
settlement in the middle of it.
Then we have to get there.
Copy that.
I mean, kids under 12 can't consent, in my opinion. Can't consent to being taken from their homes.
That's also fair.
Couple bumps ain't gonna kill you, kid. Unless the wind picks up. Can you tell that bucket of balls to keep his opinion to himself?
I'm sure everything's under control.
Because it's under control, it's just a little tricky. Okay, hold on. perfect landing. Easy money, baby.
But I'm still getting a lot of interference on the comms. It's gonna take me a minute to get them back up.
I'll search for signs of Cordova in the meantime.
Good. I'll be in
So
touch
confident.
once I crack this.
Oh, yes.
Oh my. My cat
Has-
just came.
Cal,
I was gonna say, has the
Here.
void decided to make an appearance?
you
She
did
has.
good work on Pagano. The more information we gather on Cordova and Zepho, the closer we'll get to stopping the Empire.
And she came
I've
and
heard of
like
ancient cultures,
stood
but
on
don't
her
know much
hind
about them.
legs and like put her
I
front
only knew
paws
that
on my
Cordova was
leg.
obsessed with the Zepho.
Aw.
Believed
Cute.
teachings to be important.
Yes.
I too was intrigued by the mysteries of our galaxy. We better get moving. There's a lot to learn here. Good luck.
Is that my fan? I don't think it's that loud. It's fine. I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Totally fine. Probably.
So this is Zepho.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as I talked about in my research, the lack of inhabitants is speaks more than the presence of them in this particular case.
Well, well said.
Watch out, BD. You don't look friendly.
What about the ROUSs?
I don't think they exist.
Oh, no.
What's this?
Cal, can you hear me?
The Empire. They found Zepho.
If they were following the Mantis, we would have been swarmed already.
Could they be looking for the tombs?
Let's hope not. Just got our comms working. I'll try the same workaround to crack into theirs.
Apologies that the game seems a little glitchy today. Not sure.
It
why.
happens.
It does. Ow. Yes, but these ROUSs, man.
They're a little terrifying, you know.
Oh. There, that's the right button. I have been playing a lot of different games.
Indeed. A baby crying? Oh, no.
Mother used this fabric to keep her child warm.
Poor
They
baby.
were on the run from something.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes, Cal, but once again, sites don't abandon themselves. Has to be a reason. Invasions, climate disasters, plague, you name it.
In this case, I think it's just the Empire, but
Mm-hmm. Invasions.
invasion.
Stim crate. Should be here. Wait, can you carry more? Thanks, BD1.
Yo.
It's a good baby. Little baby. Baby droid friend. Also, just on the note of the whole like double-bladed lightsaber thing, it really annoys me when people are like, so like this, you know, whatever strategy, etc., is a two-edged sword. It's like all swords have two edges. It matters whether or not they're sharp that makes the difference. So I hate that phrase.
Yeah, I mean, some swords have just one side that's sharp.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there's still a second edge to
Yeah,
it.
there's still another.
That's how those work. But
There's the ship.
mm-hmm.
Shortcut.
Yay.
More ROUSs.
I wonder who exactly came up with the idea to call them scaz. It's just that's quite a name, you know.
Who knows?
Nice.
Indeed.
It's so funny though with because I've been playing a lot of Witcher lately, and hopefully, dear cryptids, you will get to see me do a Witcher episode for some spooky season stuff coming up. Maybe. We'll see. But there's what am I trying to say? Perfectly timed parries will deflect arrows back at the people firing them. And it's so funny because like I have consistently managed to do that with just about every group of bandits I encounter. And I have a friend who plays Witcher who has never been able to do it. It's been like 3 years since he's tried. Excavation.
Yep. Which we call Imperial Archaeology.
Mm-hmm.
Come and fight me.
We'll be right behind you. Don't kill me.
Do you want to scan something?
Get down here.
You get down here. This is why we wanted the double-bladed lightsaber.
Take her and go. I'll lead them away.
Foster, no!
Yep. I'm sure that had nothing to do with the baby crying.
Of course.
Go get him.
Eviction notice.
Yep, so... Looters will be shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot him down. Blast him.
What's that phrase about? And anthropologists and war don't often mix. Much the same can be said for a lot of archaeology, but as we've talked about in other videos, archaeology has certainly been used in the spreading of propaganda in various wartime contexts.
Yep.
And didn't you say you had a friend who is at a site that we shall not disclose the location of, but she'd been either shot at or someone else had been?
Somebody else had been shot and killed.
Oh no. I mean, my, another colleague of mine has also been shot at while on, like, night patrol at certain sites, so... It happens! Maybe not. frequently, but it does happen.
Yeah, so in her case, she was near a border of a country that I shall not name. And there are looters slash rebel fighters, insurgents,
Where are you taking us?
slash
The Empire's forced the villagers from their
scavengers.
homes, frightened refugees, shipped off to work camps, or worse.
Yeah.
All lumped in that category of people who see an opportunity to monetarily benefit from selling the material relics of the past.
Yeah, but
for a variety of reasons.
In their case, I can't do that yet. They were told not to look at anyone if they saw them, and just to kind of let them keep doing their thing, because that's basically what happened to the person who got shot and killed. Is they made eye contact with them while they were crossing the border, and because that person had seen them, they got shot. It was a local. It wasn't one of the archaeologists. It was just a local worker there, but still
tragic nonetheless.
Definitely tragic. Just for like looking at someone, but
and with the colleague of mine that I mentioned, he said he was at a night patrol. Like, he also has a background in law enforcement. Which is why he was at this site on night patrol when most other people wouldn't be. But he said he actually heard and even felt that distinctive whistle and sort of that puff of wind. A shotgun shell goes flying right past your head. It's like, oh, delightful.
Yeah.
So
archaeology can be dangerous.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like we've said in other things, you never know what you're gonna uncover in terms of ancient diseases or bugs or scorpions and snakes and whatnot at certain sites, but also a lot of the people in that area may not always be the most understanding or savory characters, shall we say. You may have a number of shady individuals.
But also, to be fair, like, to the locals that live there, like, it's not always... The archaeologists aren't always the ones that are in the right, either.
That's also true.
There's a lot of caves on Zepho. And caves are often where we find lots of archaeological remains.
Indeed. And caves are interesting, for a number of reasons, because the preservation can be weird, to say the least, or it can be really good, depending on where that cave is located. As we've mentioned in some of the Assassin's Creed episodes, desert environments tend to be really good, and so caves in desert environments are often really excellent in terms of preservation. But if they're in cold and damp places, they may preserve other things that won't necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for, survive in a desert environment.
Did you hear that?
I realize that in us pausing, being like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? We probably sound kind of stupid on occasion, but let me tell you, we're both very smart. It's just we're both really tired, if nothing else. Mentally,
Or there's
physically.
like a lot of words in my brain and
Yeah, that's true.
don't have the mental capacity for all.
It was so funny. The other day I was working on the lit review, and I correctly spelled palimpsest correctly, but I couldn't spell burial correctly. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I'm a mortuary archaeologist. I work with burials. It was just funny. It was like, palimpsest is not a common word.
I feel like there's always like a really common word that I can't spell. Or it looks wrong to me every time I spell it.
Yeah.
Is there a rocket launcher? There is.
Is there a rocket launcher?
At this posting are terrible. You think someone sneaked?
Eyes over there.
Jedi's on the move.
Cover me. There's an ally down.
Out of the way, Cal.
Someone get him. Come on, hit him. I don't need help.
Oh,
My cat just glared at me.
good job.
Of course she did. You're not paying attention to her, and that is unacceptable.
No! Should have been more patient, probably. It's okay though. One of the accessibility features they added to this game was not making your falls as like end of the world, because when the game first came out, if you fell, that was like it, kinda.
Oh dear.
And you went back to the save point, but now they kind of start you back over. And that's a holdover from, this is technically a in the style of Dark Souls kind of game. And in that game, if you fall, it's game over, back to where you last saved. But in this game, it's a little bit more forgiving if you fall, which I personally like, because sometimes it's not even your fault in terms of like, there's some really excruciating platforming sections of this game. And if you had to redo that every time, which I did the first time, it just, sitting there for 20 minutes trying to perfectly platform this one place is just not as fun.
That's fair.
And nobody really wants to do that. So.
My friend, in the rotation since I left Pagano, I've uncovered more about the Zepho than I once believed possible.
This isn't the platforming section, but it's very reminiscent of it.
Indeed.
And I did fall off here a few times. Oh no, I didn't. It was one that looks just like that. There's like several. What cat?
Cal.
And see, like, that's just the character not grabbing the room. We're gonna go with that anyway.
Yes. Where was it in like location wise on one of our previous playthroughs of this, where we had you were like force pulling a rope towards you, and for some reason only like the last foot of it was decided to wiggle. I'm still not over that because it was just so funny.
It may yet happen again.
If it does, I sincerely hope we get to record it because that was amazing.
It was pretty funny.
Can you slice this? Sorry
I
about
feel
you
like
stopping.
if you can't tell
Standing up to that
cryptids,
bog rat?
we as archaeologists have a very niche, kind of morbid, dark set of humor.
Let's go,
And then
BD1.
we as individuals also have an even more weird sense of humor, but that's okay. Whatever makes us laugh in the quarantines is probably good.
Yeah.
And this is fun. Nice brain break from me writing my dissertation stuff.
Mariana, take care of her, Sienna.
And here we
It's
have an
alright.
example of a burial in a cave. Or, not really a burial, so much as just a dead person.
An informal deposit in a cave, we might even say.
In this case, I think
It's
that
funny,
person crawled in there to die, but
Also, I mean, still, so would it be a formal deposit then if we can read that intent?
Seer, there's a transport ship leaving the Empire's base.
I don't
Well, the dead don't bury
They
themselves,
plan to
but in
bring
this
Zepho
case, maybe they
artifacts
did.
to Coruscant.
Cepho artifacts.
That the Emperor is
Oh,
interested in
my.
Zepho? Maybe.
Imperial archaeology, man. Although, as I discussed in my thesis, we have specific meanings for, like, imperial versus colonial archaeology. And what the Empire does is much more actually reminiscent of colonial archaeology by our term. At least by the term that, is it Trigger? I think it's Trigger.
Yeah, Bruce
Trigger
Trigger.
discussed, so.
Do you want to elaborate a little more on what those terms mean?
So, where am I supposed to go? Hang on. I see. So, Trigger said there were 3 types of, like, government archaeology.
That is like archaeology undertaken by a specific type of governmental body, perhaps.
Yeah.
And also, backing up for a second, Bruce Trigger is quite the archaeological historian and both historian of archaeology. So we, in graduate school, usually have to read his like history of archaeological thought and a lot of the other articles that he's written. But do continue.
Well, just that, I don't even remember the third one. But it's, imperial and colonial are 2 of them.
Expansionist, maybe the other one.
Yeah.
If not that one, because I think we've read 2 different versions of his summary of that. I can go look it up, actually. I've got my copy of Trigger over here.
But, so while she's looking that up, imperial archaeology was basically described as sort of what the British did. What they sometimes still do. That was close, Cal. And basically where they like are using they're doing excavations in places that they're controlling as empires.
Yes.
Imperialists, whatever the right word is. And Cal, please. And basically leveraging their power as the dominant force to do that. But the methods are a bit different, and the reason why I thought this game and like archaeology, imperial archaeology in Star Wars in general was more colonial is because of what we see of like the Empire driving those refugees out of the village because they wanted to excavate.
Yeah.
And similar things like that. Like, in Imperial archaeology, normally, they usually don't force an entire people group to, like, leave, because that's part of their empire. Whereas colonial is more what Americans did to the indigenous populations, or what others did to African countries. Africa is indeed a continent.
Yeah, I had to correct several students in a class recently. Like, the country of Africa. I was like, you mean the continent? Fun fact, I still have 42 more essays I get to grade for the weekend, but hey.
In accordance with the Emperor's will, we've occupied Zepho.
That also technically means I've already done over 90, which is kind of a scary thought.
To yield significant data or relics for Project Augur. Its electromagnetic winds have rendered the bulk of our mining technology useless. Meanwhile, more stormtroopers lose their lives to dangerous fauna. We will not be able to fulfill our directive here. It is my recommendation that we disband the project and leave a token outpost to keep scavengers from stealing our technology.
I was trying to see if I could find in my copy of History of Archaeological Thought where Trigger actually defines like imperialist and colonialist archaeology, but so far I haven't found it.
Look out!
Didn't we have an article about that too that we had to read?
Yeah. There's like 3 types of archaeology or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the platforming sections that sucks if you don't get it right.
Indeed.
Oh, well. Nope. Yay.
Cal, the Empire's pinpointed your location. You need to move fast.
On it. Thanks.
I miss this rope all the time. The first time. Ah!
Oh no, Cal.
Surrender, intruder! The Jedi! Guess we need to move in. You won't be routed.
Nationalist, colonialist, or imperialist. That was the article.
Was the third one like
nationalism?
Yeah, nationalism. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this is the platforming section.
Here we go.
Nope, there we go. I might,
oh, no.
depending on how long this takes, this might get shortened as well.
Indeed.
For the viewers at home. Not that I'm not at home right now. But...
I mean, I'm also at home, so.
Oh, look at that. That was fine.
Beautiful.
I found something.
What do they know?
No mention of Cordova. I don't think the Empire knows he's been here.
Then we have the advantage. For now.
So what does this say? Here we go. Nationalist archaeology, the function of which is to bolster the pride and morale of nations or ethnic groups aspiring to nationhood. Colonialist archaeology is archaeology practiced by colonizers in a colonized country. And then states with worldwide political, economic, and cultural power are imperialist archaeology.
Yeah, and I guess what I was
That's interesting. We're on the right track.
the Empire is much less concerned about like financial things when it's doing its archaeology. And I think that's why I said it tended to be more like colonial archaeology.
Yeah. Yeah, that they're basically doing sorts of archaeology in places that they have colonized, basically. And not that they're necessarily just controlling financially or something. Money is apparently no object.
Yeah. I mean, apparently Palpatine had like trillions of dollars stored away to build that fleet.
Storm up ahead. Something about it crippled the Empire's equipment.
I think, like, I said one of my biggest issues with Episode 9
Follow it.
isn't what everybody else had, but, like, the fact that
I'll
somehow
do my best.
this secret empire had enough money squirreled away to build,
geez.
like, top-of-the-line ships. Like, that was definitely my, like, where did all of this money come from? That's not how economics works.
I like how other people have, your critiques and then, or like their critiques and then yours is like, but that's not how economics works.
I'm like, that's not how finances work. At least that's not how, it's not how finances have been known to work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't get swarmed by the goats.
Yay! I remember we got stuck here in previous playthroughs with the goat friends, or not friends, rather.
I want to be friends with them, but they...
Oh yes, we want to be friends with them, but they don't want to be friends with us.
Never seen a storm do that before. Yeah, it's incredible.
Cal.
Run, Cal.
Run!
My friend, I believe this to be the earliest Cepho site we've uncovered yet, despite my reservations. I cannot chase the Bogano fault from my mind. Its visions shape the direction of an entire culture. I must understand why.
Good archaeologist, Cordova.
Mm-hmm.
The comic where he first sort of starts finding out about the Zepho is really like an amazing commentary on modern archaeology and like all of its problems in a lot of ways.
Nice.
And the Empire?
No sign of them down here.
It's pretty
What
neat.
about Cordova?
Mm-hmm.
Still not sure what I'm supposed to find. He's a little...
Eccentric? Tell me about it. But he wouldn't send us here for his amusement. Keep an open mind.
Do you see that? Ugh.
Where am I supposed to go? So before we get too deep in this tomb, I'm gonna meditate the next meditation spot, and we're gonna call it a day. There should
Sounds
be
good.
one.
Cal. I was like, what is he like shielding himself against there?
I think I have to slide down.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's still not a meditation spot. That's nice.
The ROUS is going to be a pretty consistent theme throughout this episode, it looks like.
They're just everywhere on Zepho.
Mm-hmm. I mean, then again, much like, in actual archaeology and exploring sites, we do have scavenger and very opportunistic species that tend to take over. For example, in Germany, some of the big tumulus burial mounds that my advisor and others have excavated have fox and badger burrows in them, and then you find a lot of rats very often. Or in other places where the soil has already been disturbed, you find plants growing that don't grow in other areas. It's interesting stuff. So that we have rats doesn't surprise me, and somewhere that has been, quote, abandoned.
They're just
huge.
Of unusual size.
Extremely unusual size. Pretty sure it was here in one of our last playthroughs. You just started smashing the pots over here left and right, and we're like, no, this roll diagnostic.
But I mean, are they?
Are they though? By diagnostic, we mean that very often you can assign a date to a site based on certain styles of pottery or certain features of the ceramic pieces that we find there. Some of these things over here almost look votive, don't they?
Yeah.
Also, loving Cal's grimace every time the camera zooms in on his face. It's also defying the laws of physics too, because
this game has just been glitchy, so
yeah.
Okay.
Yay! There we go. We made it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.